Central Texas, #1 for New Country. We're US 105. Good morning. It is Wes Adams, another installment of CTX 254, our get-together on the weekend where we discuss public affairs in Central Texas, get together with great groups and organizations doing good things, and we certainly have a studio full of great ladies today that are here from Miracles in Maine. And I'd like to introduce you to our founder and CEO, Melissa Freeman, and a bunch of great ladies who are here to tell you some pretty empowering stories today. Melissa, welcome to you and your crew, and thank you for joining us here at Town Square Media.
Well, thank you, Wes. We are super excited to be here. Wow, where do we start? Where do we begin?
We've got a great story to tell people today, and the folks around here at the radio stations, we got to know you guys in the group Miracles in Maine. The story on this is fascinating. And I think it's going to touch a lot of people today to hear from you guys, and we're just excited to have you here. Melissa, tell us about Miracles in Maine, what you guys are, and what you do in Central Texas.
Okay, so Miracles in Maine, we are a cranial prosthetic store. We offer cranial prosthetics or medical grade wigs to patients, preferably women and children who suffer from alopecia. Alopecia, oh, go ahead.
You were going to do it. I was going to say, tell us alopecia for people who don't know what that is.
What is alopecia? So alopecia is the medical term is hair loss. However, there's different types of hair loss. You can have it due to medication treatments. Sure. You can have it because you have an autoimmune disease such as hypothyroidism, lupus, and other conditions.
Stress, I feel like sometimes.
Yes, stress can cause you to lose your hair. Oftentimes, though, when it happens to women, we don't necessarily know how to handle it. Sure. And the first thing that we do is go to our stylist, which is great, but oftentimes it is a medical condition that can be treated and even covered by your insurance company. So.
That's something that we'll be given some more information about today as well, because that might be easier to cover than some people might think.
Exactly.
Tell us about your crew, and we'll figure out who's going to be brave and go first today. But if you could introduce us to the ambassadors that you brought along today.
Sure. I have Miss Shantuan Shields. She's one of our ambassadors who suffers from alopecia, and her story is really great. I can't wait till you guys hear about her journey with alopecia. We have Miss Veronica Bellamy. She's not only our ambassador, but she also works for me too, so she had to be here. And we have Miss Jade. She's the youngest of our group, and we're super excited to hear about her stories.
Jade has the most followers online, by the way.
She does. She does.
Jade, thank you so much for coming, sweetie. Looking forward to talking to you. Melissa, do you want to start with Shantuan Shields and have her tell us all about her story? And
yeah.
Shantuan, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about yourself and your story.
Well, I am a 34-year-old single mother who was diagnosed with a heart condition after giving birth to my son. Postpartum cardiomyopathy is what I suffered from before the actual heart transplant.
And how long ago was it that you were diagnosed?
About 7 years ago.
It's been 7 years.
My son will be 8, September 15th.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your son's name?
His name is Brian.
Shout out to him.
Shout out. Shout out, Pootie.
Pootie. That's his family nickname.
What's going on, Pootie? How has alopecia affected your life? Tell us a little bit about your condition and post-surgery and how you linked up with Miracles in Maine.
Well, honestly, alopecia, words can't express how alopecia has affected me, because I was diagnosed after giving birth to my son, and eventually it had to result in a heart transplant. So my second birthday is 11/3/17, which is the day I actually got the organ and it became mine. And I got hooked up with Melissa as far as working with Miracles in Maine. I've actually known her for quite some time, but I actually called to inquire about getting a cranial prosthesis. Mm-hmm. And she just called me back, and we had a conversation, and she called me in for a meeting, and here we are.
Is that what you're wearing now?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I never would, guys. I never would have known that's one of the cranial prosthetics, as you said, that you're wearing. It looks great.
Thank you.
So good job, Melissa.
Oh, thank you.
This is the kind of thing that you can do for people that are hearing this story today, and maybe in this situation that they can reach out to Miracles in Maine. Now, Shantuan, what is one defining moment in your journey where you felt empowered?
Honestly, when I decided to show the world myself in a natural state, my true existence, no one has ever seen me. I don't want to use the term bald-headed, but no one has seen me, without hair extensions or, things of that nature. And Melissa actually made it comfortable for me to do that.
Melissa, you're doing great things here. Miracles in Maine, obviously, Shantuan has come a long way through her heart transplant and through getting through alopecia and getting her cranial prosthetic. And just a smile on her face when she was telling us about meeting you and getting hooked up with that. Obviously, you've done a great service to her. And I'm sure the other people in the room feel the same way. Miss Veronica Bellamy, can we say good morning to you today?
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming. We'll start about the same spot that we started with Shantuan. Tell us about your story and about yourself.
My story, I'm a 59-year-old, good-looking 59-year-old woman, married, retired twice. My story is I'm alopecia due to stress. I lost my son 9 years ago, July. I didn't know I was suffering from alopecia, but during the trial, we were praying, and I bent over, and somebody snapped a picture of us leaning forward. And after the trial, we looked at the pictures, and I seen this big bald spot in my head. And the first thing I did was went to my beautician and said, I got a bald spot.
What's this?
Yeah, what is this? And she says, I can do wonders. I can make your hair grow back. And we tried it, and finally I went to a doctor, and they told me I had alopecia. And then from there, it grew and it grew and it grew. And had they did something at that time, it wouldn't have been so big.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Miss Melissa, but I started working for her before. And I told her about the alopecia. And that's my story.
Thank you so much for coming today. What was one of the defining moments in your journey with alopecia where you felt empowered?
Where I felt empowered. I feel empowered because now I have options. I can wear hair, or I can put on hair. I can wear it, I don't have to wear it. And I think I can feel comfortable with or without hair because it's me, and it's truly me. So.
And would you say it took some time to adjust to get to that point?
Now let me tell you, I just met this little girl right here, Jade, and when I met her, she showed me that she walks around like that all the time, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I was sitting in the PX working for Melissa one day, and I just took my wig off, my cranial prosthetic off. And I looked around the PX and I was like, oh God, I hope ain't nobody looking. I ran into the PX and I bought me some big earrings, put some lipstick on, took a picture of myself, and I sent it to my husband first. And my husband said, Veronica, where are you? Because I go nowhere without my unit. And I said, Richard, I'm in the PX. He says, oh, you're beautiful. And then I sent a picture to everybody. And from that day forward, and that's been about 3 weeks now. 3 weeks ago, I had not put on a wig. Now, I am going to wear my units, but I still feel comfortable without it.
You look great. Obviously, you're not wearing it today. I'm sure both ways look outstanding. But Veronica, thank you so much for talking to us today. Obviously, Miracles in Maine has made a big impact on yourself. And now, Jade, we're going to put the microphone over to you and say good morning. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for letting me come.
Calvers Cove's where you're from, huh?
Yes.
Good old Cove. Well, thank you so much for coming. And how old are you, Jade?
10 years old.
You are 10 years old. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you got connected with Miss Freeman and Miracles in Maine.
Jade was 4 when she started losing hair. She started getting sick really easy, started having issues that doctors could not figure out, just different medical things, said that nothing was connected until she started losing her hair. We then, about 8 months later, found out that she had hypothyroidism, and she started thyroid meds and grew her hair back. However, about a year later, it all fell out. She was first diagnosed with alopecia areata, which is spots.
Okay.
You lose spots out of your hair. And then later with alopecia totalis, which is total hair loss on your head. And then eventually into alopecia universalis, which is complete and total body hair loss. So she has no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no nose hairs, no hair anywhere. However, she has been a rock star through it. She was so young. And when she was 6, she had about 70% hair loss. And she asked me one day, she was like, "Mom, can we shave my head?" And I was like, "Well, once it's gone, it's gone, you know." And I told her, I was like, "Let's wait about a week, think about it. You know, if you still want to in a week, then we'll do it." For the next 2-3 days, she begged non-stop to the point that I was
You
like,
were
"Let's
ready
just
to
do
do
it."
it.
Oh, she
You were ready
was,
to do it.
and
Do you remember a little bit about what had helped you make your mind up to say, you know what, I want to do this, Mom, and let's go ahead and do it right now?
I don't know, I just felt I can do it.
You were ready to do it, and
Yeah.
you'd make your mind up. Well, good for you.
She said it was already coming out. Why
Yeah.
not shave it off?
Mm-hmm.
And then the minute that her hair was gone, she lit up. She was just like a completely different kid. And instead of being shy and embarrassed about it, she's embraced it. It's become kind of her little signature. You know, she stands out being bald
For
now.
sure. Absolutely you do. A defining moment for you, Jade, when you felt empowered with your journey.
I guess whenever I started playing basketball, there was a whole bunch of girls with great skills, but I was standing out in a great way.
Do you have a favorite basketball player that you watch, Jade?
Charlie Villanueva.
Villanueva. Yes, indeed. And do you get to play this summer? Are you playing hoops through the summer with anyone from school or from Cove out there?
No, but I'm playing. I want to play with my dad.
That is awesome.
We have my.
That's the most fun, isn't it? I remember shooting hoops
You
with
just-
my dad. We'd play horse or
just
we'd play
finished
pig, and somehow he always beat me until I got taller than him.
Yeah.
And then I started doing a couple.
Yeah. I just finished AAU not too long ago, and then next year I'm playing for Parks and Recs.
Awesome. You are one special gal, Jade. Thank you so much for coming by today and talking to us about miracles in Maine. And we just wish you all the best. And we hope that you can keep in touch with us, because I'm sure people who see the videos on our website today and hear y'all's story, they may be reaching out too and say, "I want to talk to that sweet girl who is experiencing something that I'm going through now," and how much help you can be just by talking to them and saying hi and encouraging them like you all do here in this room. That's great. You're an outstanding kid, Jay. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Melissa,
Yes.
you're pretty lucky, aren't you?
I am very lucky to have these amazing women surrounding me to kind of help, showcase what we're all about, because it's really not about your hair, how much you have. It's about, again, empowering women to bring awareness to what alopecia is and how it affects people in their day-to-day. And whether you decide you do want to wear hair or you don't want to wear hair, you're beautiful either way.
As we've seen here today for sure, and as everybody watching on the cameras, these ladies are all
Absolutely.
gorgeous. Melissa, let's get the word out on how people reach you. Now, you've got Facebook, you got Instagram, and you guys are online. Please tell us all the different outlets that people can get.
Yeah, so there's actually many ways that you can reach us. If you are in the Killeen area, or maybe not, you can give us a call at 254-312-7020, and either our Miracles Coordinator, which is Miss Laura over here snapping photos, or Veronica Bellamy, who is our Miracles Advisor, will be able to assist you. Or you can even go to your, if you are a part of TRICARE or the VA or even Cigna, then those are some plans that we are networked with, and your dermatologist or your primary care provider will just send us over a referral and we'll get you started.
You guys can take it from there. And Miss Laura over there doing the action photos and coordinating all the behind the scenes. Thank you so much for putting us in touch with this very special group, Miracles in Maine. And you're headquartered
We're actually headquartered in Harker Heights. We actually have 2 locations, one in Killeen and one in Harker Heights. But what we like to call our clinic, where we do intakes on our patients, is in Harker Heights. We're at the Suites, right beside what is that? The edible arrangement.
Oh, I know right where you are. Okay. We, from time to time, get dropped off some of those edible arrangements, and that's when nobody can find me for half an hour because I'm sitting there trying to pick apart the giant fruit basket and get something good to eat. Ladies, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing your stories. Each and every one of you, thank you very, very much. And we'd love for you, Melissa, to keep in touch with us.
Yeah,
and if you have more people and more stories that are going to help empower others, and bring them out of that situation where you're finding out you're diagnosed, and then that next step, and there you are. And I hope that our opportunity today to talk to you reaches people, and they see the resources that you guys are providing in Central Texas. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
CTX 254 is a presentation of Town Square Media.